This was insane to witness. The Bears' Week 4 game against the Las Vegas Raiders came to a incredible end in the Bears' favor. Welcome to Bears Digest, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another video. Please hit that bell for the Bears W. It was an absolute heartbreaker all the way up until the end. So hit that bell. We'll be here as soon as we can with live reactions every single day, as we are doing right now. Guys, we'll get right into it. Bears win 25-24 on the absolutely incredible game-winning blocked field goal. This has been happening throughout the last couple of weeks in all of these games, and it came down to it, and I was like, there's no possible way that the Bears do it. This is not something that happens to us. We don't get good things that happen to us in this way, but the tides have shifted, and I was absolutely ecstatic. This was not a well-played game by any means until that last game-winning drive touchdown. It was sloppy all the way through, and it just seemed like another one of those road games where the Bears come off of a good win, and, everybody thinks the tides are turning back to our favor, and then they have a letdown spot in the end. If you guys remember my last video in the predictions video and what I thought this game was going to be was 24-17. We had the Raiders right all the way down to the end, and they got the blocked field goal, and we had more points than we thought. I'm taking that every single day of the week. This was a massive, massive, massive win for the Bears, as we are on tap now for the bye week. We're 500, 2-2. You got a clean slate after the bye week. Go into Washington on Monday Night Football. Extra rest. We should have Kyler Gordon back, and we should hopefully have TJ Edwards back. And a lot of these other guys that have been dealing with injuries and ailments should finally start to be able to get healthy and start off 0-0 for the rest of the year, right? That's how you can think of it. Go out the rest of the year and play your best football at the end of the year. We finally stacked 2 wins onto one another, and it was absolutely fantastic to see. Let me know your guys' reactions down below to the game. I am filming this right after the game, of course. I am still sweating, shaking, all things considered. Let me know what you guys think about the game below. Obviously, any time that you can come out of a game where you win, but you did a lot of things wrong that you need to fix, that's a coach's dream. That is a coach's dream. Obviously, no coach wants to have a bad game and a lot of mistakes, everything like that. But when you can squeak out a win in one of those games, that is massive, because now you have that momentum. Now you have that trust from your players that we can win, but we need to fix these things, right? The run defense, absolutely horrible. I think everybody and their grandmother could have predicted that Ashton Genty and that Raiders running game was going to be their breakthrough game today. They rushed for almost 300 yards. I don't know the final numbers. We'll take a look here soon. But I believe that the Bears got outrushed by almost 260 yards. The fact that you snuck out a win on something like that is absolutely astonishing. And one thing I wanted to mention too, right when this game got over and kind of the energy that we saw right after that blocked field goal, is I was like, that right there is what happens to the Bears every year. Last year, 10 out of 10 times they would have lost this game. So I don't care what you got to say about, Ben Johnson, some of the mistakes that were made today, some of the play calls maybe iffy, things like that. The Bears won, and that is something that has not happened in years and years and years. They found a way to implode last year and absolutely blow a game like that, and I thought it was heading in that direction again. Blackwell got a tremendous rush off the edge there, pretty much unblocked, came off the speed rush off the edge, got a hand on it, and there you go. When those longer field goals are going, they're lower trajectory, of course, but it didn't even matter there because Blackwell got all the way around the edge and got to the kick right in front of it no matter what. So that could have been as high as it possibly could have, and he would have blocked it. So tremendous work by the special teams unit to get after that, because obviously the offense would have gotten the ball back. So sometimes, you see special teams units kind of just lay down, right? They don't put out as much fight as you would like because they don't want to risk a penalty right there too, because that essentially would have lost you the game because they would have ran it down to 1 and then kicked a field goal in shorter range. So absolutely gutsy, phenomenal win for Chicago. Much needed to get to 500 going into the bye. So if you guys can't see all these stats, we're going to run through them real quick. I'll read them out for you. So obviously for the offense, the most that we saw all game came towards the end, and I'm okay with that, right? You guys should be too because we won. But there is a lot to work on, and it wasn't a great day for the offense. And in my opinion, I know Swift had that, essentially game-winning touchdown, but that experiment has got to be over. They have time now in the bye week to go fix some things, either make Monungai the running back one or go trade for somebody because this is absolutely abysmal what is happening with the run game. And the fact that Caleb could even throw one touchdown with zero run game is astonishing to me because when you have a defense that knows that you cannot get a yard, even if you're bringing 3-4 guys, 3-4 down linemen, and they know that you're not getting any sort of, gashing runs or anything like that, they're just going to sit in coverage and just be sticky all day. And Caleb, I think, did the best that he possibly could. He had one of the best throws of his entire career to that first touchdown to Rome. And again, find Rome. That connection. That's that, connection that we talked about in last video and the keys to win this game. And it obviously came true. That was his only touchdown of the day. And it was to Rome. And Rome is now 4 games straight to start the year with a touchdown. And when that is happening and that is clicking, that is going to be good things all year round. So phenomenal job by Caleb just to stick with it because obviously it was incredibly frustrating at times. And some of it was on him too. He made some bad throws, taking that sack there that took Cairo Santos out of field goal range, albeit it was just, 54 yards or whatever. And any kicker should be able to hit that. But taking that sack there wasn't good. So obviously there's a ton of things to work on. But anytime that you can come out of a game like that with things to work on and you get a win, that's a coach's dream right there. So they're going to hit it hard. Just to name some other stats here, Swift with 14 carries, 38 yards, a touchdown. Yuck. Rome Odunze with 4 catches, 69 yards, and 1 touchdown. Tremaine Edmonds, again, flying around all over the field. He did great today as well. The pass rush, nothing. It was terrible. So they got to work on that still. I know Gino's trying to get the ball out quick. And with that, he threw interceptions because he was just trying to get the ball out, and we were reading him like a book. So, again, Kevin Byard having an amazing day. We had 3 interceptions. Tyreek Stevenson, again, performed. The defense did what they needed to do in the pass game, and they got enough turnovers to win that game for you, although the rushing statistics and everything like that has got to be fixed. That was horrible. You literally about just lost by strictly the run game on the other side of the football, and the Raiders were one of the worst rushing teams in the league coming into today as well, just like we are, and obviously they won that battle today. So all things considered, got a lot of things to work on, but my goodness, that was an amazing win. I was shaking in my boots there at the end. It's just something that the Bears always lose. It's, usually the tides do not go that way for us. So it was great to see there. Ashton Genty, he did exactly what, he's supposed to do as a star running back and a top 10 pick. This is why everybody wanted him, and this is why the Bears essentially did want to trade up for him, but Vegas wasn't taking it, and it would have rang true. I mean, he would have been an amazing fit in this team, but of course you can't have everybody. It's not always how it works, so that's all right. But he had a phenomenal day, 2 receiving touchdowns, and then 21 carries, 138 yards, and a touchdown. Brock Bowers did all right as well. He's still dealing with that injury. And Max Crosby, again, said this in the prediction video as well. We got to stop him and contain him to be able to win this game. And in that first quarter, he was absolutely everywhere. He was all over the place. He was wrecking the game completely. He threw off Caleb's confidence. He threw off all of the play calling that we could have done there, like with some trickery and things like that, because he was just everywhere. He was right in the backfield the whole entire time. And as we saw today, I know Darnell Wright has some issues in terms of penalties and things like that, but he is the best blocker on this team. Tooney probably, but a close second and probably a more important blocker since he's a tackle is Darnell Wright, and we missed him today. Last time he played Max Crosby, I think it was in his rookie year, he did a great job. So we missed Darnell Wright. I hope to have him back here very soon after the bye week, as well as a bunch of others. So we'll just go down some of these team stats here. First downs, just about even, 16-17. Another thing that I wanted to point out again was the third down efficiency. Ben mentioned it last week that the third down on offense for us was really good, and the third down defense was very good as well. Today, third downs on offense in the first half was not good whatsoever, but in that second half, they really picked it up. Ended up 7-16 there, and the Raiders were just 2 of 8. So phenomenal job there. I know the defense has so much to work on. They have, a lot of mistakes and a lot of holes, and again, a lot of injuries, so we can't really get after them too hard until they're fully healthy. But they have a lot to work on, but they've been making plays. And Dennis Allen is really putting them in advantageous spots to make huge plays in the ball game. So Geno Smith was kind of seeing ghosts there in that first half, and then that first play out of the second, first play into the second half there to the Tyreek Stevenson pick. So phenomenal job by them, just sticking with it. They were getting gashed in the run game, and yet they stuck to it. And basically, it seemed like every pass Geno was throwing, it was getting picked off or pretty close. So phenomenal job there, at least by the defense. Total yards, we got outgained by 86, 357 to 271, going in favor of the Raiders. Yards per play was 4.2, and it was in the twos in that first half there for the Bears. So again, guys, taking this W and taking this win, you can't express the importance that has on this football team and for this confidence that they have going forward. So excellent job. The Bears win again. Subscribe, leave all your comments or the reactions down below. We're going into the bye week happy, and that's all you can ever ask for. And that's the best thing that you could ask for Chicago Bears. So thank you for joining Bears Digest once again. We ended off on a Bears W. We get a victory Monday tomorrow and get a relish in it in about, for 8-9 days before we prepare for another one. So thank you guys for joining once again. And as always, bear down.